5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my name is Jerome Chisholm, and this is my lovely wife, Innocencia Chisholm. We're glad you are joining us for another one of our trainings for travel agents. Tonight, we're going to be talking about mindset and achieving your goals. Let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can get started. There we go.
Great. Can you see the screen? I hope you can. So my name is Innocencia, and again, I am so excited that you are here with us tonight. We're gonna do our best not to take too much of your time, but we felt that this topic that we're gonna cover tonight is pretty important, especially since we had sort of like a hiatus due to the pandemic. So now we're getting back in gear. We're getting stuff up and running. Traveling has been is beginning to pick up. So the question is about your mindset, right? Where is your mindset at this point on time of the game? So in order to move forward with your business, your mindset have to be right? And setting goals is a critical component of that. And you just don't want to set goals. You want to set goals that are achievable goals. So in order to do that, the first thing you must do, and I want to share that, first you must do is know your why. Why are you doing this business? Why are you in the travel business? Why are you in the service business? Why? And I'm gonna sound like a broken record tonight because your why is critical. Saying that you wanna do the business just for doing the business is not good enough because it's not going to be your driving force. There's something that has to be that driving force. You have to be, what is it? What is your driving force? What is that thing that's going to keep you up at night, that's not going to allow you to sleep until you achieve your goals? So what is that why? For me, and I could only speak about myself, my why is my grandchildren. Some of you may ask, or some of you that know me know, we don't have grandchildren.
Not yet.
Right? We don't have any grandchildren at this moment, but I'm not waiting until the moment that I have grandchildren to start creating a legacy, to start putting things in place so that when my grandkids come, I can do with them the things that I've been able to experience thus far in this business, which is travel the world for pennies on the dollar.
Yes.
I want to be able for my grandkids to be able to enjoy what traveling offers, the experience of traveling, the education that we have gotten, that you get from traveling, the knowledge that you develop from traveling. So that why is critical. I can't tell you what your why should be. You are the only one that will know what that why is, and that why is going to be the thing that's going to be your driving force.
Yes,
it's the thing that's going to, even when you're tired, when you want to sleep, it has to be something that will cost you something. If your why doesn't cost you anything, then it's not truly and really your why. It has to be that fuel that you will receive during the times that you just want to throw the towel in and say, I'm done.
Yeah.
And guess what? During the pandemic, a lot of agents, a lot of travel agents threw the towel in. And they threw the towel in because their why was not big enough from the beginning. Consistency and staying in the trenches, because every day is not going to be up. You're going to be time that is up, you're going to be time that is down. But if you have that why in front of you and that goal, that driving force, you won't quit. So kudos to those who are listening to us either right now or going to listen to us at a later time, that stuck with it, that stayed with it, that didn't throw the towel in, because you did that because that why was and is big enough.
It was even bigger than COVID for us. There were a lot of people were challenged last year. Finances is a big thing that you have to take into account, absolutely. But sometimes your why has to be even bigger than just finances. Everybody has to live, everybody has to pay their rent, but there's a joy that you get out of accomplishing your whys. So what we, instead of quitting, the industry, we dug even deeper. We now in addressing finances, yeah, you cut back on this and you cut back on that, but you keep going. And so that's what we decided to do, was stay focused in the industry, stay connected to the industry, take time out to restructure. And we've talked about this in earlier trainings. And even restructure the why. While we share the same whys, we want to be in a position so that we can be able to experience grandchildren with total freedom, be able to take them traveling wherever we want. But I also was able to have a sub why where I saw other families that enjoyed travel with a level of confidence because they were working with the travel agent, that they felt confident about knowing the advice that they were giving, because we were entrenched in making sure that we got that information and be able to share it with our clients and do it with confidence, which shows in it, is exuded through your speech. And so our why was expanded to other families that had the opportunity to have a great, there's nothing like mother and father and kids getting together and having a great vacation together, and just taking a break from the stress and knowing that you were a part of making that family happy, keeping them together, allowing them to have a great experience and time together. Those are things that are just self-gratifying. So part of that why was not only our family, but the families of our clients. We've had so many stories where we've gotten families together that hadn't been together in years, and because we were in a position to help facilitate that. Maybe somebody wanted to organize, a get together as a family union or a small get together with family, but they didn't want to be involved with all of the planning process. We were able to alleviate that as travel agents, and so your role is huge when it comes to a travel agent, and you come to realize that more and more as you get more and more acquainted with your clients. I became more intimate about my clients and having a relationship with them, and part of as a travel agent, you become almost like a part of the family sometimes, an advisor to the family. You're connected more. It's not just about hey, book me here, thank you, here's your fee, have a good time, and that's it. You get to know these families, and and you even know what they are anticipating, what they would like to do in following years. And so those are part of our whys that got kind of like a subset of behind the why. So knowing your whys and allowing that why to grow is what I'm trying to say, is very helpful, and it's been helpful for us, and how it has helped us to become the success story that we've been able to accomplish so far in a short 6 years. So we're excited about that, our why, and how it's grown.
Okay, so now you know your why, or you should more or less have an idea of what that is. So know your why, and once you know that, then the next step, is to write your goals down. Okay.
Write them down. 3 exclamation points.
Write them down. down.
This is for real. Write them down. There's a reason for this.
Write your goals down. And why do we say write your goals down? We say write your goals down because, next slide, please. Research has shown or shows that you have an 80% success rate of achieving your goals if you write them down. I know of so many people that would say, oh, I want to do this, and my goal is this, and my goal is that. And if you ask the person, have you written it down? Most people will say that they have not. They have not taken the time out. And that time that you take out to write your goal down, it is important. It is important for the success, not only of your business, but it is important and it is critical to your success as a person. If you have something that you want to achieve, but you do not take the time to put it in writing, we have goals that we have, and we have them written down. And I have gotten to the point that I am, if you go into my bathroom, which is my personal space, I have, I took
Magic marker and paper.
Magic marker and sticker and what's those things that kids use to create? Well, whatever. It's like a piece of paper, but it's not the flimsy one. It's the a cardboard paper type of thing. And I have written my goals down, and I've stuck it to the wall in my bathroom. Mainly the, I don't want to say, but the second one, not the shower. And so when I go in there, which we have to go in there on a daily basis. So when I go in there and I close that door and I look at the wall and I have those sticky there, like neon color, bright color, because I have to see them. And I'm reading some of the stuff that I have written down that are my goals and things that I want to achieve. The awesome thing about that is that because they're written down, because they're in my face, because I see them, it fuels me. It fuels me. I don't have time to quit. Even if I want to, I can't quit. And there are stuff on the wall that I place there when we began. When we began this business from the beginning, and they're still there because guess what? They have not gotten to the point. So goals, you could write goals down, and all your goals does not have to be a goal that you want to achieve in a year. You have goals that you want to achieve 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever they are, you must write them down, and you have to keep them front and center so that the moments or the times that you want to quit, you can look at them and you say, I'm not done. I'm not done. And always remember the race. This race, when you're speaking of a successful business, the race is not for the swift. It's not for the one that comes out quickly and they doing, but it's for those that endure till the end. It's for those that's going to stick it out no matter what. It's for those that their why is so big that they are refusing to throw the towel in. And I'm here to tell you, I have remove stickies from that wall because I accomplish those goals. And when I remove, I add, because as long as you have breath, there are goals and there are things in your life that you want to achieve. But at the success rate, 80%, if those goals are written down versus having them here in your head, in your mind, because this will fail you. We're not going to be young for the rest of our life. And in the midst of everything that we have, in the midst of everything that we have to do, life gets in the way. So a way to have it in front of us, despite all of the busyness and the murmuring and the distractions that happen in the life, if those goals are written down, you could either post it crazy like I do, post it someplace, write them down, type them down, have them with you, pick them up, and just read them and go over them every once. Well,
No,
I see them every day.
Every day, yes. And that's what I was going to mention.
I see them every day. But even if you're not a person that want to look at or do it the way I do, I can't tell you how to do what you need to do for you. I'm just here to advise you. I'm here to share what has worked for us. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you're writing them down, for me, it's like a letter to myself. It's like an email to myself.
Yes.
And so every day,
it's
something about it. You know, you mentioned typing it, but when she has those goals, it's all handwritten. So I don't know this as scientifically or not, but it's something about seeing your own handwriting.
Yes.
With those goals.
Yes.
I think there's something more to it than when it's just they're typed in front of you. There's nothing wrong with typing them if that's the way you want to go. But when you see, it's like the difference between when you hear yourself speak of your own goals. Because when you write them down, it's good to read them out loud so that you hear what you are after, and then your whole being responds to your own voice. So I just wanted to, that was one of the trainings we did.
That's good.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. So write a letter to yourself in the form of goals.
Wow.
And stay connected to those goals every day. You got to eat every day. You got to eat physically, mentally, spiritually. Eat your goals every day so that you are digesting it and then manufacturing those goals. You'll be making steps. There's some nights that a client will call me 10 o'clock at night and they need something, and I'm up until 3, 4 in the morning getting what they need because I know it's like a short notice, and I know if I don't get to them to it quickly enough, they'll end up spending more money because they're like within a 2-week period of, you know, flights usually start going up within 2 weeks time, and they called me 15 days prior to their trip, so I'm spending the night getting what they need if they want to go to Jamaica, Mexico, whatever, so that I can save my client that much more money, because what that will do, and they will appreciate that effort, and before you know it, they become your cheerleading section. We've talked about this. And so my goals are in front of me. And so it just as they are in front of my wife's. And so it's awesome to write that letter to yourself, those notes to yourself, and read it in your own handwriting and on your desk. It doesn't have to necessarily be the bathroom. It can be on the kitchen, on the refrigerator door, wherever your eyes see every day. Make sure that you are reading that letter to yourself so that you can push yourself. You took time out to decide what you want moving forward. We wanted to have an enormous success with this business for reasons that we discussed and more. And so these are one of the key foundational steps that helped us to do that. We can talk about all of the technical ways of making money and how to be a great travel agent, but there's some foundational material that we've been trying to share with you that you can stand on, that will build upon, that you'll be able to build upon. And that's why in this early part of the series, we wanted to talk to you about a number of foundational things that has helped us to achieve the goals and the success that we've been able to experience so far.
Okay. Next, please. It does not matter. And I'm going to repeat it again. It does not matter how big or how small, okay, they are. You just have to make sure that they are smart. right? So I know some of you are wondering, what does she mean by SMART? And some of you may know what SMART stands for. So it doesn't matter. It could be big, it could be small, it could be in between. It just have to be SMART goals. So what do I mean by this? Can you, next. SMART, the acronym for SMART is, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be realistic / result oriented, and it has to be time sensitive. So if you're watching it, you could write it down. So when you start writing your goals down and your why, you know exactly how you need to go ahead and do that. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic / result oriented, and time sensitive. Okay. Always making sure that your why is your driving force. Always. Why do you need to have a goal that is specific? Because if your goal is not specific, you're going to be all over the place. You cannot just say, I want to do this or I want to do that. No, your goal has to be specific because, again, that goal is being driven by your why. So it has to be specific. And then when we say measurable, I hear people sometimes say, oh, well, it's my first year in the business and, oh, I want to my goal is to make $1 million. Okay, let's be, how are you going to measure that, right? Because the measurable is not only being measurable, it also being achievable, and it's also being realistic. And you also see time sensitivity. Time is time sensitive. Mm-hmm. If you're just starting out, is that a SMART goal to say that you want to earn? Some people, they do it. Some people are able to do it, but the percentage of the individuals that are able to achieve that SMART goal in the period of time that they are set it, in the way that they have made the decision, the things that they are willing to do to reach it, to achieve it. And those are things that you have to question yourself, because you need to know for yourself, is my why big enough that is going to drive me to reach my SMART goal, to achieve it? If I made a decision, a conscientious decision, and I put it in writing, that my goal is $1 million, is my why big enough that it's going to keep me, or people say that success don't sleep. Mm-hmm. It don't sleep and it doesn't quit. You just keep at it. You don't stop. And I heard somebody say you keep going until the wheels fall off. Yes. Right? You just keep going. You go at it because your why is big. Yeah. And that is the thing that fuels you to do it. So yes, SMART goal is key for you to achieve that. So I'm going to give you an example. An example is a SMART goal is something like this. I want to earn $10,000, right? It's totally different from I want to earn $10,000 by January 31st of 2022 so that I can take whatever your why is. In this case, my why was my grandchildren. So that I can take my grandchildren on an all-inclusive paid vacation on their spring break. This goal is a smart goal. This goal is a smart goal because it is specific, it is measurable, it is achievable, it is realistic, and it's time sensitive. It's a big difference from saying that you just want to earn. I want to earn. I want to be a millionaire. Okay, you want to be a millionaire. You want to be a millionaire by when? And what is it are you willing to do in order to reach that status? What is the date by which you would like to reach that status? The goal that you have set for yourself, take a step back. Is this goal an achievable goal by the date that I have placed on this goal? Okay, so these are things that you have to make sure that you just don't say I want to without being very specific and turning it into something that is smart. Okay, so it is critical. It is critical, especially now that we are in such a peculiar place. Things are different. Travel is not what it used to be, 5 years ago. Things are going to be different moving forward. And setting goals is going to be key to the success of your business. And when you set goals, because we know all of the things that has happened and have transpired due to the pandemic, set goals in a realistic manner. Now we are already in the month of May. Mm-hmm. Pretty soon we're going into the month of June. So you have between June and December, the end of December. What is it that you would like to achieve during those 6 months, now that your business is starting up again, now that travel is gearing up again, now that you have made a decision, because if you're on this Zoom, you have made a decision to stick it out. You stuck it out through the pandemic and you're sticking it out through this business. So let's work and creating and putting goals that are achievable, goals that are smart, so that you won't get frustrated. People get frustrated and think that goal setting is worthless and it doesn't work. But goal setting does work, and it's work if you do it in a smart way.
Yeah, and when you come to setting goals, be sure not to undervalue your goals. So for some, $10,000 may not take much to earn. So make sure they're just beyond your reach, so that you have to push for it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And then and there's nothing wrong with doing an evaluation mm-hmm. of those goals. Mm-hmm. That's key and important, where there's an adjustment made mm-hmm. based on the reality of what's going on. So don't be afraid of pressing and pushing it a little bit more for yourself. You can have micro goals within it. So you're just starting out in the business. You don't have a client base. You're brand new to this. Your goal may not be associated with how much money you made. It might be how many bookings you were able to accomplish, mm-hmm. how many clients you've been able to connect to. It doesn't have to necessarily have to do with how much money you've mm-hmm. earned, because in the very beginning, mm-hmm. and I tell people all the time, give yourself 12 to 18 months in this business. People got to know that you're serious about this business, that it's not just another thing for you. That people are going to have to trust that you have what it takes to deliver, because you're handling people's vacation money.
Yeah.
And people have been pent up, ready to go, and they want to make sure they're getting the best value for their dollar. So it's key and important that you set goals that are realistic, but pushes you a little.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And then evaluate it.
Right.
So the 10,000 may be a great goal for somebody that's just starting for this year, but hey, 3 months, we have about, 6 months, a little bit more than 6 months to go, 3 months in. Hey, am I at that halfway mark yet?
Right.
And maybe I'll bring it down to 9,000 and really push for that. So, and there's nothing wrong with reevaluating. We've done it. We were fortunate enough to really, we knew what we really wanted to do. We gave this 110%, and we were able to really break our goals very quickly. But it was not without a lot of sweat. Blood and tears, essentially, because once we got one of our first biggest contracts, there was work to do. There was work to do. We didn't even know what to do yet. And sometimes you can put yourself in a position like, what do I do? But fortunately, you're with the company, and we were with the company, and you're with the company in Travolution, where we had all the help and support. We had people that were willing to, hey, let's roll up our sleeves. We'll help you make this happen, because there was a lot of work involved when you're dealing with a large contract that we first got, and really we didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't know what we was doing.
We just joined, but people had confidence. People were essentially good with, we had the confidence of the people, but we didn't have the knowledge yet. But unfortunately, when you're working with Travolution, you are with a company that is you're working for yourself, but you're never by yourself.
Not by yourself.
And I listen to some of the other agents as we go to different meetings and settings, and I hear all of the horror stories where people are just left on their own. You pay a fee, okay, thank you, hope everything works out, type of thing. That's not what happens at Travolution. And so setting your goals, you're not alone either, especially when you share them with people that are working with you at Travolution. We're here to support each other. And so this is something that we wanted to share with you, so that you understand that if you get this, you can go a long way in the foundation. So set these goals, like we said, write them down, and make sure that they're smart.
Well, I just want to piggyback a little bit on what Jerome said, which is absolutely key, right? There are things that's going to happen in our life, and you call that life happens. So you may have a goal that is a smart goal, but life happens, right? As he said, revisit it. Because of that life incident that took place, the goal, the date of it, the achievable date, so it may have to be pushed back. It may have to be adjusted, right, based on the situation. But the great thing about having it written down and having it in front of you and knowing the situation and knowing the circumstances, that adjustment can be made, because that live situation that took place is not the thing that's going to stop you from achieving your goal. It's not the thing that's going to make you quit, because again, your why, right? And I keep saying your why, and I'm going to say it again, your why is your driving force. And let me take a moment right here to make it really, really clear. If your why is only money, that is not a why. That why is not big enough. And I'm going to tell you why that why is not big enough. That why is not big enough because when you write what you think is a smart goal down and you don't achieve it, and you're not achieving it because you are not doing the things that you have to do, in order to really achieve it, right? Because realistic, be realistic about what you are putting down as your goal. You know yourself, you know your capabilities, you know what you are able to do. This is your business, and you cannot and should not depend on others to do the things that you are not willing to do. So know who you are. Know what you are bringing to the table. Know that when you set the goal, it is your goal.
Right.
It's not your goal and everybody else's goal. It is your goal. So know what you are bringing to the table and what you're willing to do in order to achieve it.
Right.
But again, if it's only about
Yeah.
the money,
It's not gonna-
you
yeah.
are in
Yeah.
the wrong business.
Yes.
Because this business
It's a people's business.
is a people business.
Yes.
This business is not a money transactional business. It's a people business. When you do what you have to do for your clients, when you serve your clients and you serve your clients with excellence,
Mhm.
okay, I am here to tell you without fail, time and time and time again, because of serving our clients with excellence, the money comes.
Yeah.
We don't have to cut corners. We don't have to try to convince someone. We serve with excellence. And maybe perhaps next time we meet, I will speak about the importance of service. What real good service to a client look like and what it does for your business,
Yes.
because it has done it for our business.
Absolutely.
Most of our clients are referral because we took the time, yes, without sleep. We have gone months, days without sleeping.
Yeah.
So what we are sharing with you, we are sharing it because we want you guys to win.
Yes.
We are here to learn. We are striving, we are thriving, and we're going to win together.
Yeah.
We are trying to cut down the amount of nights and weeks and months and years that it has taken us to get to this point. If you could just grab a nugget that we share with you and run with it, we know that you will succeed and you will win in this business. So what am I trying to say here after saying all of that? Could we go to the next slide, please? Thank you very much, unless you have something to say.
The only thing I have to say about the goals that came to my mind is that goals help you to soar, just like the planes in sky. Allow, as we were just kind of alluding to, your goals to bend but not break. Breaking is quitting. If you ever flown in a airliner on a plane and you look out on the wings, those wings support the whole plane and everybody in it. But if you ever notice those wings, if they get into any turbulent or even any regular wind, they will kind of, bend a little, but they're still supporting the whole weight and allowing you to soar as high as that pilot brings it.
That's good.
If it was designed to be stiff and unmovable, I didn't make this goal, that's it. That's why we were talking earlier about review your goals and let it shift them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you're able to keep going instead of just breaking simply because you didn't meet your goal. So just keep that in mind as well.
That is good. I'm telling you, if you're not getting these nuggets tonight, I don't know what to say, because I don't know what he drank or what I drank before I got here. But we are so excited about goal setting and about what's going to transpire with you guys and what's going to happen with our Travolution family that we are beyond. Yes, we're going to get together in person soon also, by the way. But anyways, let me say this to you. Stop setting goals. All of this we said to say, stop setting goals that are not smart. because the only thing that is going to do it is going to frustrate you, and eventually you are going to give up on them and you are going to quit. We don't want anyone that is listening or on this training at this moment to set goals that are not SMART goals. If you don't know how to do it, find somebody how to do it. There are plenty of research that you could do, but the main important thing that you always have to remember when you're writing them down, it has to be specific. They have to be measurable, achievable, right? Realistic. Don't set yourself up for failure. It's not the goal. You said it, you wrote it down. So why would you set yourself up for failure? So don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set yourself up to the point that because you don't see nothing happening, right? You get frustrated, and eventually you say, this travel business is not working. You know, the travel business, they told me it was going to be great. They told me this was going to happen and that was going to happen. Let me tell you something. It's planting seeds. You have to plant the seed. If you plant the seed, you can't expect it till you plant it today and tomorrow you're plucking a piece of fruit. It don't work like that. You have to plant the seed. You have to allow for it to, germinate. It does all of that thing, and then it start getting some roots, and then, it start getting the roots, and then you see the little something start sprouting out, and then, and we all know the story of a tree. What happened, right? Eventually, it get big and then they start producing fruit. There is labor. There is work.
Yes.
There is it's time. There is stuff
Yes.
that you have to do. And every single thing that you do to build your business, to build a successful business, to build a business where people know that you are ethical. Okay, people know that you're trustworthy.
Yes.
People know that you're not cutting corners just because of the quote unquote dollar. You're not cutting corners because of the commission, but you're doing what you have to do because you're serving your clients with excellence. You serve your clients the way you want to be served.
Exactly.
You do the things for them that you will want someone else to do for you. And that's why we have been successful. And listen, we are not done. We just started. We're not even, and I don't even know, but we are just started. So don't look at the fact that we've been in here 6 years and you've been 1 year or 6 months or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. It's what matters is your consistency. What matters is your mindset. What matters is the way in which you set your goals. What matters is your why. What is driving you to do this? What's matter is the way you treat your clients. What's matter are you doing, and are you what do you represent? Are you representing a company that is ethically sound, that is trustworthy? Are you working with people who are ethically sound and are trustworthy?
Yes.
People that are not gonna cut corners just for the dollar? That's what you are. We spoke about branding. What is your brand? What does your brand represent even when you are setting goals?
Yes.
What does it represent? What does it look like? So don't set goals that are going to frustrate you to the point where you eventually throw the towel in, give up, and quit. We have seen too many people during this pandemic do just that. They quit.
Yeah.
Because perhaps they had a goal that was set, and the goal was for them. They set a date. They wanted to achieve something by 2021. January of 2021, but the pandemic hit and they forgot their why. They forgot their why.
Well,
And the
that's why it's
pandemic
important.
hit.
But that's why it's important not to set your goals on just money.
Don't be strict about it.
Yeah, because if you just
Be
stop money,
bendable.
Yeah,
You know, you have to be coachable.
Yeah.
You have to know
Yeah,
how to be pliable. You know what I love? And I'm talking about that. And what came to me is a palm tree. Pay attention to a palm tree. A palm tree, a hurricane is coming, or the winds, or a storm, or whatever. And most palm trees, when the wind hits them, they just go to the side. And then the wind hit it, and it come back to the other side. The palm tree is flexible. It's pliable. It's saying, okay, well, the wind is blowing this way. I'm just gonna go lean a little bit that way with the wind. But the palm tree will always come back to this unless a tornado come and pick it up. Well, that's,
it's different.
that kind of life event could happen. But just think of that. With your goals, you look at it and you look at it. And if there's something that you have to tweak or something that you have to adjust, do it. By every means, do it.
Just don't.
But don't quit.
Yeah.
Okay? Winners don't quit.
Yep.
Winners adjust and do what they need to do to correct whatever the situation is. If they have to go a little longer, whatever it is. But winners don't quit.
They adjust.
So I'm asking you not to quit. If you have to adjust your goal based on your why, adjust your goal. And the last thing that I want to share before we just open it up for questions, if anybody have any question, is that I want to share with you is knowing your why. And as you see in these slides, I put the why in red and in capital letters because that's how important it is. So knowing your why and writing your goal down, it forces you to ask yourself the question, is this what I really want? Is this what I really want? In order to answer, you have to take the time to think long term, not short term, long term. And it pushes you to look past life distractions and keep things moving forward. Moving forward, because success in any business, you could start doing the travel business right now. You could quit Travolution right now. But I'm here to tell you that success in any business, it is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not gonna go from here to there in 5 minutes. I'm just being honest. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Even with us, when we first started, we was blessed to be able to, the first business that we got was a 100 cabin cruise. We had no idea what we was doing. We would have messed this thing up. And to some, that was a success and it was a sprint. But guess what? No. That was one step towards a successful business. So success is not a sprint. because some people get excited. Oh, wow, 100, coming, and they done. They don't do anything else. They're done. But it's not a sprint. You have to keep going. You can't give up. You have to remember your why.
Mhm.
Because when you remember your why, and your why is strong, and your why is critical, and your why is rooted, your why have roots to the point that you're gonna shift this way a little bit.
Mhm.
You're gonna lean on somebody for a minute because you're tired, so you're gonna lean on somebody, but then you get your strength back, and then you come back again and you straighten up, and then you become like the ever ready bunny, and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And I want each one of us to remember that it's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And so we have to prepare ourselves as if we running a marathon in order to accomplish our goals. Let's be like that little engine that I love to talk about, that little engine that we set our goals. We set it because when we do it, is because in our mind we're saying, I can do this, right? I think this is measurable. It is achievable. It is realistic. So it is result oriented. I can get the results I want out of this goal that I just wrote down here. And then I have a time frame that I want to achieve it. And then we become that little engine that begins saying, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And if we all know the story and how it goes, it started out slow, right? Slow. You don't have to be the sprint runner.
Yes.
Be the marathon runner. You may not get 100 cabin booking. You may get one, but take that one as a stepping stone towards the other one, and keep saying, if I did one, I can do two. And if I did two, I can do three. And if I did three, I can do 50. And if I did 50, I can do 100. And you have to keep saying to yourself, this is my marathon, and my why is fueling and giving me the energy that I need to keep going. And so you do, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and then you're with the choo-choo, and you keep going. And nothing stops you. So I'm here to encourage each one of you. Stay in the trenches. Set your goals.
Yes.
Know your why. And no matter what, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Give yourself the time to build a successful business. Be ethical, be trustworthy, and most importantly, serve your clients with excellence.
Yes.
Because when you do that, you will succeed. And that's what we wanted to share with you tonight.
Yeah.
I know I did a lot of the talking tonight because this piece is important and is very close to my heart when it comes on to goal setting. And I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. And I don't surround myself with quitters. I surround myself with winners. And I know that in Travolution, that's who we are,
Right.
and what we are. We are winners, and we help people win. And with that, I am going to be quiet.
Well, one last thing I will mention is about goals is please don't let your goals be smaller. Don't let something like COVID. Now, whether it's COVID, what we experienced in last year, or COVID, whether it's something else that
in your
represented.
life. Yeah.
When we said adjust, We talked about a SMART goal. It was talking about specific. You may have to adjust what the specifics are. We talked about measurable. We may have to talk about the measurable. I wanted to do it within a year. Well, with COVID, now it's 2 years because I had to wait a year. But you don't stop. You don't break. You keep going. You measure whether it's achievable. COVID may have slowed the travel business down, but what we did was stay connected with our clients so that as COVID started to become more under control, all those people that we stayed in contact with are now, and that's why we're seeing such big numbers in our business now. Yesterday, we booked an $8,000 trip with just one family.
Yeah.
Why? Because we were staying connected with them. So that achievable might not be right here and now, but it happens after things kind of adjust. So don't let a COVID experience, whatever that might be, stop your goals. You may have to shift. It may not be realistic. COVID made things unrealistic for a minute. But you've seen it in other businesses where they shifted. They did more deliveries than ever for meals. Instead of when restaurants couldn't have people come in, what did? They started Grubhub and all. They shifted. It wasn't realistic to have people come into their stores, so they shifted. Not stopped. They didn't close. Some had to close down, absolutely, depending on the scenario that they were experiencing. But a lot stayed there that could have quit. And then time sensitive. Obviously, when something gets in the way, life happens, or things of that nature happens, you may have to say, hey, I can't do it in this amount of time, but I can do it in this amount of time. The important thing is that your goals is bigger than anything that you will confront. You shift it, but you don't quit it. And so with that, we wanted to present that to you because this has been a foundational aspect of our business. Without thinking about this, making it alive, making it something that we look at, something that we eat every day, and something that we remind ourselves every day, we really wouldn't have been where we are now. This is foundational stuff that has helped us. And I can imagine any real business could, but we wanted to share this with our Travelation families because really what we're hoping to do in these series of trainings is we want to have bigger and brighter stars that will do well more than what we've ever accomplished.
Lori.
So what we're trying to do is say, hey, this is where your stepping stone. Take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Your success is our success, and we're excited about it for you.
Yeah.
That's the Travelation family. We're not afraid of everybody else's success. We push for it. So that's what we're hoping comes out of this. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and open it up for questions. Let's see, open up this chat box and see if we have any questions, or you can turn on your mic and ask any questions that you might have in mind. Otherwise, thank you so much for the opportunity to just come before you and discuss with you.
Share what we have learned over the years. And, you know, in travel, I'm just going to say this. Most people in travel that are succeeding, for whatever reason, they have a tendency of not really wanting to share. They give you bits and pieces of what they are doing, you know, or what are some of the things that they have done, you know, to get them to the point that they are. And one of the things that Jerome and I made a very conscientious decision from the onset when we started is that we wanted to be different. And I thank Dave and Faraday for having the same mindset where we wanted Travolution to be different. We wanted Travolution to be more of a family type of environment where we have travel advisors helping each other out versus this thing like, well, you know it, but you not help it. No, we wanted to eliminate all of that. So we are being totally transparent with you guys. We just letting you know what have worked for us. And our hope is that you will hear what we are saying, but you will do it with a listening heart, that you will listen to our heart and what we want. We want to share what we know. We are chipping away whatever amount of time it took us to get it. And we want to share it with you so you don't have to spend all that time bumping your head and in hours of research. And we want to help you. And this is something that we want to do. And for those of you that know us, we are a phone call away. Some of you picked up the phone, you have asked us questions, and we don't have a problem sharing what we know. Because again, when you win, we win. We all win. And that's what we want to continue to do as a family. And we can't wait to see some of you. We can't wait to hear about your successes. We can't wait to be the ones sitting in a Zoom and not being the one speaking, but hearing what one of you have, your nuggets, your golden nuggets that you are sharing with us, because we don't know it all. But whatever we know is what we are willing and have been sharing with all of you. So again, kudos to those of you who took the time out to be present. Kudos to those of you who did not throw the towel in and didn't quit. Kudos to you who stayed in the trenches during this pandemic and didn't quit. And because you didn't quit, I know that your business is going to succeed. You're going to succeed beyond measure. And guess what? When we do the celebrations, I'll be the first one standing with my cowbell or whatever, hollering and screaming, celebrating each one of you that are here tonight. And those that were not able to make it, but will be viewing it at a different time, kudos to you for taking the time out for doing just that. And we will celebrate you too. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Faraday if there's no question. And again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I do just have one thing to say. It will be 5 years in August that I've been with Travolution, and there has not been one day or one time that I have ever felt like I've been here by myself. And it's just because of what you guys say. That's the way it is. So one of my short-term goals here is to reunite with everyone.
Yay!
Back in the Dominican Republic.
Yay!
I'm ready. I am ready.
I'm ready too.
Thank you both for taking your time out every Sunday.
Yeah, lifestyle, here we come.
Here we come.
Lori, you're one of our reasons why we do what we're doing tonight. Good friends such as yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you.